If you thought Hitler was bad, wait till you see what the women on this list have done. Although the number of murders are not as numerous, they're equally revolting. On this list, we have nurses killing babies and serial killers that wiped out their entire family. So here are the top 10 deadliest women. Let's dive right into the world of bloody gore, shall we? Number 10. Idoia Lopez Riano. Idoia Lopez Riano. If you're looking for gruesome, look no further. Idoia Lopez got involved with the terrorist organization ETA in 1982. At the time, her boyfriend integrated Lopez in the organization, and 2 years later, she became a member. Hoping to be the heroine that would save the town, Lopez quickly started getting involved in terrorist operations. She became popular for seducing police officers and then killing them after she'd had her way with them. And the one pet peeve of the woman was shooting them straight in the mouth. The most gruesome of all the murders was the 1986 bombing at the Plaza República Dominica in Madrid. This operation took the lives of 12 civilian guards and injured another 35. And a year later, she managed to take 5 more lives. With her total body count at 23, she was finally caught and sentenced to 2,000 years of prison. Sadly, according to law, no prisoner can serve more than a 30-year sentence, and Lopez was released after serving a measly 23 years. That equals to 1 year for every man she killed. Number 9. Siti Aisyah and Doan Huong. These two made it on our list because they managed to kill one of the most influential people in North Korea. Plus, they did it thinking they were part of a prankster TV reality show. When Kim Jong-nam was killed at the Kuala Lumpur airport in 2017, the two women could be seen covering his face with a cloth. The 45-year-old man was dead within an hour. And why did they kill this relative to the leader of North Korea? It's assumed that the reason he lost his life was because he wanted to smash the like button if you haven't done so already. But no, in all fairness, it's because he was always criticizing the rule of Kim Jong-un. They killed him using a chemical substance called VX, and according to the UN, this is a weapon of mass destruction. The man was dead within an hour, and the two women were imprisoned, but they claimed they were innocent. When Siti thought this would be the end of her life, she was released from prison and is now free. Although these two women say they are innocent, some consider them to be the deadliest North Korean assassins ever. Number 8. Nannie Doss. This joyous old lady went by many names, but her smiling nature had a terrifying history. They called her Giggling Granny, Lady Bluebeard, and even the Lonely Hearts Killer. Her killing spree went from 1920 all the way to 1954, and in this 30-year period, she managed to take the lives of 11 people. This is the woman that killed all of her 5 husbands because she wanted to take their life insurance money. The victims included 4 of her husbands, 2 children, her sister, her mother, 2 grandsons, and mother-in-law. The method she used to deliver the deathly touch was rat poison. She used it in almost all of her victims. She pleaded guilty to her crimes in October of 1954 after her then 5th husband had died. Immediately after that, she was sentenced to life in prison, and just 11 years in, she died on June 2, 1965. Number 7. Mary I of England. Well, they called her Bloody Mary for a reason, don't you think? She was the only child that Henry VIII had with his first wife. When her mother died, her half-brother succeeded his father. The Protestant reform continued during Edward VI's reign, but then he got deathly ill. Politicians were thinking of naming Lady Jane Grey as queen. Seeing that Lady Jane Grey could steal the throne from Mary I, she gathered her armies and deposed Jane, eventually executing her. When she finally got the throne, Mary I of England started burning all of her Protestant opponents at the stake. This was the thing her brother feared. In the 5-year reign, she managed to hold and even reverse the Protestant reform. To achieve this, 280 men lost their lives in the Marian persecutions, and Mary I of England was remembered in history as Bloody Mary. Number 6. Brigitte Mohnhaupt. This German terrorist was associated with some major organization in the 70s and early 80s. She played a major part of the RAF, or Red Army faction, as well as the SPK, or the Socialist Patients Collective. Even in the early days, she was active in the local protests, and she met key figures in the 1960s student movement. After this, she decided to join the RAF after first joining the SPK. When the SPK dissolved in 1971, she was a major player in the RAF and key strategist. She was also involved in the series of murders of renowned German leaders known in history as the German Ottoman. Although it is believed that she only orchestrated the murders, many people believe she was behind many of them. In fact, people say that she was responsible for the deaths of 30 key political and social players in her country. The police finally caught up to her in 1982 and gave Brigitte 5 life sentences, as well as a minimum of 24 years in prison. In 2007, she was given parole, which made people furious with the decision. It's believed that she is now living under a new identity at the age of 71. Number 5. Miyuki Ishikawa. What this woman did was gut-wrenching, and yet, the Tokyo High Court only gave her a 4-year sentence. So what did she do that was so unbearable? Well, this Japanese midwife that was born in 1897 managed to commit infanticide so large that it had never been topped by any Japanese serial killer in existence. So between 1944 and 1948, after the Second World War had ended, Miyuki Ishikawa managed to save the impoverished children by killing them. Because she worked in a maternity hospital, she saw many babies being neglected by their parents because of the financial struggles. To end the suffering of the babies, and because she wanted to torment them, she opted in for killing them. It's estimated that she managed to kill anywhere between 85 and 169 babies while she was at the hospital. When the police finally caught up to her, she confessed for her crimes. They gave her a 4-year sentence. One writer referred to the decision as unbelievable and unbearable. Number 4. Jane Toppan. Here we have another seemingly happy character that hid malicious intent. The people called her Jolly Jane, and she worked as a nurse at Cambridge Hospital. She was born in 1854 in an abusive household, and her father was an angry alcoholic. While at the hospital, Jane started becoming friendly with patients. When she found the one she liked particularly well, she started administering different medicines that would end up killing the patients. She was so deranged that after she had administered the drugs, she would climb into bed with patients and have her way with them. When the police finally caught her in 1901, she confessed that she was behind the murders of 31 people. What's crazy about this is that she had a motive: to have killed more people, helpless people, than any other man or woman who ever lived. For this, she was placed in a mental institution for the rest of her life. Number 3. Shi Jianqiao. We had to include this woman on our list. She only killed one person, but she was so brave that we just simply couldn't leave her out. Her father was killed during the Chinese Opium Wars in 1925. To make matters worse, the man's head was put on a show at a railway station. She couldn't bear the pain, so she swore she would avenge her father. And 10 years later, she did. As warlord Sun Shunfeng entered the Buddhist temple, she followed him and killed him with 3 bullets in the head while he was praying on his knees. After killing him, she handed out leaflets to people explaining why she killed the man. And when the police arrived, they captured her, took her to prison, and gave her a freaking pardon. Now that's what you call justice. Number 2. Amelia Dyer. Baby farming was renowned in the 19th century in England. Namely, she used to adopt unwanted children for money and raise them under her roof. But that's what she wanted people to think. This nurse managed to kill around 400 babies, and she let them float along the Thames. 400 babies were strangled and thrown in a river. Although she only confessed of killing one baby, the court reached a guilty verdict and she was hanged on June 10, 1896. Number 1. Mata Hari. She was as beautiful as she was dangerous. Leading a double life, Mata Hari managed to kill around 50,000 Allied soldiers. She was an exotic dancer at the time, and also a spy who was born in Holland. Being a citizen of a European country, she could move freely across Europe during World War I. She was even recruited as a French spy who would need to seduce the German Prince Wilhelm, who eventually gave her a lot of German secrets that she passed on to the French government. And on that note, we end this video. But hey, do you know any other dangerous women? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.